And with all the brilliant weather we've been having lately, it's easy to forget that there are some problems that come with it, especially in the garden. But don't worry, Dyax have all you need to keep your lawn hydrated over the summer months. Take a look. So it's summertime at the moment, things are starting to dry up. What's a good way to take care of that?
Well, you're going to need to put some sort of sprinkler system in, and also, like, when everyone's watering their garden in town at the same time, or if there's water restrictions, you really need to be looking at what sort of sprinklers you're using.
So do you have a range of sprinklers that use less water if there's water restrictions or water pressure isn't so good?
Yeah, well, you know, there's all different sorts, and there's like from the set irrigation to the irrigation systems that you put in permanently, or the stuff that you move around the garden yourself. And it's a good idea to actually have a timer, because a lot of people go away and leave their sprinklers on and don't really remember to turn them off until it's flooded. So like a water timer, the best ones you can have coming on up to 4 times a day. So like you can give them a bit of a watering in the morning, and then maybe one not quite so late in the evening, because you really do like the plants to dry out before it gets dark, because otherwise it can create a mildew problem. Particular sprinkler here is quite good for just around the home garden. It's got 8 different settings, so you can actually dial around to the setting that suits. This particular one here is just a strip. This one here is a full circle. That one there's a half circle, and it's got all the different settings, so you're not actually watering areas that don't need the water. This one here is a good lawn sprinkler, or ideal for rectangular type garden areas. It's got all different settings as well. So these buttons, you can push them off and on so that you can adjust how many of these particular ones here you want to have going. Push so you can have all different settings. This here is actually another setting it has on it, so that you can adjust how far back and forth it goes, and this here adjusts how much water comes out. So that's another real good one there as well. This one here is what they call a pulsating sprinkler. It ticks around, it shoots out a large jet. Usually need reasonably good pressure to run these, but really good for big areas, and they're fully adjustable. This here can be lifted up so it goes right around, or you click it down and it can be set so it does quarter circle, half circle, or just the right amount to suit the job. It's fully adjustable and it's height, so for getting up over vegetable plants or certain areas, shrubs, and can be put right down low, squeezed up and put away again. So these are a real good sprinkler. This is what they call a lawn tractor, probably because it's a tractor, but these are ideal for large lawn areas, and they're fully adjustable by turning these here up and down. So you tilt them up and you get further coverage, tilt them down, less coverage. Windy days, turn it down so it doesn't blow it away the same. And what this actually does is you have it hooked onto your hose, and it will trail along your hose, and it will automatically shut off when it gets to the end of the hose. It has a dial on the back here so that you can have the sprinkler going at different speeds, so hence getting more water. And it's self-driven through the water going through it. And the button on the bottom here, when you get to the end, that'll switch the water off. So that's one that you don't need a timer on. It'll automatically shut itself off. It's very heavy, it's cast iron, so it won't blow away or fall off the hose.
If you've got any gardening questions or you'd like to find out more about the products you've seen today, you can get into Dyax Nursery, 628 Tweed Street in Buckargal or 849 North Road, Lawnville. You can call them 216-8265 or find them online at www.dyax.co.nz. Welcome back. With winter drawing near, it's not just us that need to rug up to protect ourselves from the cold. Your garden needs protection as well. So in order to keep your pride and joy in tip-top shape over the winter, Dyax have all the tips you need. We're in autumn now. What sort of things should you be doing in the garden at this time of year?
Well, a lot of people start thinking about a bit of mulch, pea straw they use, a bit of green crop. They start putting in a bit of lupin, oats, mustard, and that's quite good. You dig that over in the springtime, and that helps your ground with organic fertiliser. There's other things like pea straw, pelletised. You can have it and throw it around, and it sort of puts a crust on top of your soil, stops the weeds coming through, and gives your ground good organic matter. A lot of people like to make their own compost. That's another thing. They spread that out, empty their compost bins, and there's quite a bit in making compost. I've realised myself, having the experience. It's good to have a good mixture of straw and green, and we sell a lot of Compost Maker. It has an enzyme in it that helps break down. But there's lots of things. People sort of plant a few beans. You can put broad beans in March, and they'll mature about November. So there's lots of ways of using your ground. It's too late for potatoes, the frosts get those, but things like shallots and garlic, anything like that handles the frosts seems to be the way to go.
Why is it so important to put things like pea straw and compost on your garden at this time of year?
Well, it stops weeds coming through for a start, and that's always good. It puts organic matter back into your ground, and that's breaking down over the year and helps your plants for the spring. So it's really a preparation. And the frost, with the frosts and all that, it breaks your ground up and makes your soil good for the next year.
And Dyax make their own compost here as well?
Yes, we do. We sell it by the trailer load. My brother has his peat bog down at Kapuka, and we mix that with super dirt and compost. We're really lucky in Southland here. We've got everything so handy. We get my moo make the super dirt that comes from the lignite mine. It's lignite and dag manure, and the peat we dig ourselves, and the compost we get from the mushroom growers.
Someone can go and make their own compost. What sort of work goes into that?
Well, it's all to do with packing your compost bin properly. You can't have too much lawn clippings all together because it goes all soggy. So you've got to mix a bit of dry matter and then a bit of compost activator. A good thing is dolomite lime, a bit of sulphate of ammonia, that's straight urea. The best thing's sunshine, a bit of heat, and that really cooks things up. But we can supply all that sort of thing. We have Compost Maker, and that has an enzyme in it to help break down and that compost. But things like pelletised pea straw, you can get the pelletised dag manure, they call it Garden Galore. That's all good to add into it, and all that breaks down, and it's quite an art in making good compost. It's good to get a good compost bin too, one well aerated, and you can get them you can pull the drawers out and they drop down and they make compost without having to do too much digging. But some people make them out of wood, and and plenty of worms. Worms are really good. Get them into the compost heap, and everything benefits.
And all these products are available here at Dyax as well?
Yes, we pack most of them ourselves. We pack all our own fertiliser and pack all our own potting mix compost, make all our own mixtures, and still using the same fertiliser recipes that my grandfather did 100 years ago.
A gardening question for Dyax, you can go in and see them at 628 Tweed Street in Invercargill. You can call them on 216-8265, or you can go and see them at 849 North Road, Lawnville. The number there is 235 8008, or find them online at www.dyax.co.nz.